Good Monday evening, March 3rd, and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Here are a few of the stories we have coming up for you tonight. A Spokane teenager who was accused of stalking and harassing a Wenatchee 17-year-old last year pleaded guilty to a misdemeanor charge of disorderly conduct. A Washington State trooper was jailed on suspicion of DUI after allegedly causing a fatal crash Saturday outside Richland. After highs of around 60 degrees today, expect a mix of clouds and sun over the next couple of days, along with cooler temperatures. Your full local weather forecast is coming up. Avalanche observers say a deadly snowslide Friday near Harts Pass in Okanogan County killed an East Wenatchee man who was snowmobiling in the area. 40-year-old Andrew Kennedy was pronounced dead at the scene near the Brown Bear Mine. That's about 20 miles northwest of Mazama. Kennedy was traveling in a group of 3 snowmobilers when they triggered a large slide, that according to the Northwest Avalanche Center. He and a second male rider were caught in the snow and debris. The second man was injured but survived. Helicopter rescuers from Mazama responded to transport the injured rider. Avalanche danger in the area was assessed as moderate at all elevations on the day of the slide. A preliminary investigation into the cause of the Pioneer Fire that threatened Stehekin last summer was inclusive, according to the State Department of Natural Resources. NCWLIFE media partner the Wenatchee World obtained the investigation report last Thursday, which say there is evidence to suggest the fire began near where a man was using power equipment. According to the report, the landowner denied wielding or grinding in the area prior to the fire to investigators, but did say he'd been running a generator and air compressor. The Pioneer Fire started on June 8th on the north shore of Lake Chelan, and the report says the fire danger rating was low at the time with a burn ban in effect, but it did not prohibit the use of machinery. The investigation is expected to be finalized within a few weeks, and it's unclear whether authorities will pursue legal action against the landowner. A semi-truck rollover about 6:30 this morning tied up the Highway 28 bypass ramp on the southwest edge of East Wenatchee. The bypass runs between the George Seller Bridge and the Rock Island Road intersection. Vehicle traffic between East Wenatchee and Quincy had to be diverted via Grant Road while authorities worked to clear the blocked on-ramp. The route was reopened just after 1 o'clock. No one was injured in the wreck. A Spokane teenager who was accused of stalking and harassing a Wenatchee 17-year-old last year pleaded guilty to a misdemeanor charge of disorderly conduct. 18-year-old Declan Riley Finch was arrested last summer for allegedly threatening a Wenatchee girl and her family, both in online chats and by text messages. At one point, Wenatchee police say he spoke with the girl's father by phone and threatened to come to their house with a firearm. Finch was initially charged with felony cyber harassment, but Chelan County prosecutors agreed to dismiss that count in exchange for the lesser plea. Finch must carry out 40 hours of community service and complete anger management treatment. The girl's family has obtained a protection order blocking him from contacting her again. When we come back, Douglas County is taking bids on its plan to reroute about 1 mile of McNeil Canyon Road. An illegal burn quickly grew out of control on Friday and ended up burning a total of 61 acres south of Ephrata. And the Chelan-Douglas Land Trust is celebrating its 40th anniversary with a year-long celebration. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
Central Washington Water is your solution for problem water. Whether you're on a well or municipal water, they can design a clean water system custom to you. Soft water eliminates water spots and scaling on fixtures. It protects appliances from hard water damage, saving you money. Soft water reduces soap usage that causes skin irritation and is a healthier choice to drink. Call for a free in-home consultation or stop by the store to have your water tested. Central Washington Water, your best water solution for home, pool, and spa.
A ductless unit from Carrier can keep anyone comfortable. Take Shelly, for instance. She finds me time in her new attic-turned-home gym. And with her Carrier ductless unit, the temperature is always perfect. no matter how intense her workout gets. Carrier, total comfort, totally happy.
Turn to the experts, Carrier and Alpine Air. Heat and air, call Alpine Air.
Between juggling groceries, preparing meals, and lending a helping hand, you're a hero without a cape. But who's there to support you? Aging and Adult Care honors caregivers like you, the relatives, friends, and neighbors, helping loved ones remain safely at home. Aging and Adult Care offers chore services, respite, personal care, and more. Serving Chelan, Douglas, Grant, Lincoln, Adams, and Okanogan counties, call Aging and Adult Care at 1-800-572-4459 for caregiver support.
A Washington state trooper was jailed on suspicion of DUI after allegedly causing a fatal crash Saturday outside Richland. 35-year-old Sarah Lee Clayson was arrested after her vehicle allegedly struck a motorcycle about 7:40 p.m. on Highway 240, killing the rider. Clayson had been assigned as a public information officer for the Washington State Patrol's Tri-Cities District. She remained in the Benton County Jail today on possible charges including DUI and vehicular homicide. The Richland Police Department is conducting the investigation to avoid a conflict of interest. Douglas County is taking bids on its plan to reroute about 1 mile of McNeil Canyon Road. County commissioners closed the steep rural road to unpermitted truck traffic in 2023. A dangerously curved section of McNeil will get some straightening with construction scheduled to start this year. Construction companies wishing to bid on the project should get their proposals in to Douglas County's Transportation and Land Services Office before March 24th, when county commissioners will examine them and vote on an award. The county began seriously questioning whether McNeil Canyon was safe for truck drivers to navigate after a series of semi-rollovers in 2022 and 2023, including one fatality. An illegal burn quickly grew out of control on Friday and ended up burning a total of 61 acres south of Ephrata. Grant County Fire District 13 says nearby residences were threatened by the fire and that the soft soil of the site hindered suppression efforts, forcing firefighters to do much of the work on foot. Nearby farm operators supplied equipment needed to free fire vehicles that got stuck in that soil. Altogether, it took collaboration between 5 different agencies to get the fire under control. The Grant County Sheriff's Office says it's in contact with the individual responsible for starting the fire. The Chelan Douglas Land Trust is celebrating its 40th anniversary this year. The local nonprofit was founded in 1985 and has since worked alongside volunteers and partners to protect over 27,000 acres of land across Chelan and Douglas counties. To commemorate this milestone, the Land Trust has launched a year-long celebration titled 40 for 40, which includes a new logo as well as the promise of 40 free public events in the coming year, as well as 40 articles contributed to the Wenatchee world. Special stickers of the new logo are available for free at the Land Trust office on Wenatchee Avenue. Coming up next, we will visit with this year's Chelan County Rodeo Queen. In tonight's feature story, look for increasing clouds with temperatures back to normal through midweek. I'll have your full local weather forecast coming up.
What are the best words you can hear tonight?
Order ready for Susan?
And if you hear those words at Abby's, you know it's going to be a legendary meal. Your pizza is loaded with toppings to the edge, premium ingredients, and real cheese. Yeah, baby. Gather with friends, play some video games, and watch the big game on TV. That's made Abby's a legendary pizza tradition for generations. And when you're ready to hear those magic words,
Tom, your order's ready.
you know where to go. You're always welcome at Abby's.
This March, Lake Chelan welcomes food and wine lovers to an unforgettable experience. Taste Chelan. 16 of the Valley's top wineries and restaurants create the perfect pairing of fine wines and Epicurean delights. With 4 unique winery tracks and 5 weekends to explore, every visit offers something fresh and exciting. From your first sip to the last bite, every moment is a delicious adventure, so don't wait. Tickets are selling fast. Visit tastechelan.com today.
NCWLIFE Channel is your local TV station based right here in the Wenatchee Valley. Be sure to tune in for coverage of local sports. Once again, this spring we'll bring you Prep Boys soccer, baseball, and softball. In addition, we're adding Wenatchee Bighorn basketball in March, April, and May. It's all right here on the NCWLIFE channel, our Facebook and YouTube pages, as well as our website at ncwlife.com.
I'm Jen Mueller. Watch for my show, I Cook, You Measure on NCWLIFE. It's part cooking instruction, part entertainment, and all about connecting over food and wine with your favorite Northwest athletes.
Watch I Cook, You Measure with Jen Mueller Mondays at 1, Wednesdays at 2, Fridays at 11 a.m., and Saturday and Sundays at 10:30 p.m. right here on the NCWLIFE channel.
Well, it's the second year that the Chelan County Fair has crowned a queen to represent its annual rodeo. It's only the second year that honor has been bestowed. Austin Robinson was the inaugural queen in 2024. This year, it's Georgia Davenport. In tonight's feature story, NCWLIFE's Dan Kuntz spoke with Georgia about her role representing the rodeo and the important part horses have played in her life.
My guess is you're pretty good on a horse.
Right, yes.
How long have you been riding horses?
Since I was 2. Yeah, since I could walk pretty much. I grew up around horses. Both sides of my family had horses, so I grew up riding them. And I started taking lessons in Rock Island when I was in 1st grade. And then just went from there.
How many horses have you had? I mean, that you actually owned or are part of your family?
I have had 3 personal horses, and my family we have 5 horses.
So did you have your particular horse when you did the competition?
Yes.
And you had that sort of horse wisdom. I mean, how do you know that you and the horse are on the same wavelength as you are going through their motions and all the skills that you as a good equestrian have to have in the judging process?
I've done competitions with him before, and I feed him every day, so we have the bond. So
is he happy when he sees you each day?
Yeah, he's happy for his food.
Did you know when you fell in love with riding horses as just a little girl that this was something that you were going to do one way or the other until you can no longer get up on a horse? Because you're going to, you can tell.
I didn't think I wanted to be a rodeo queen. I didn't really know about them until later on in life. But then when I found out about them and got more into rodeo, I knew that was something I wanted to do.
The most important thing, it was number 1 on the list, is horsemanship. You have to do different things with your horse in a judged environment. Tell me the disciplines of horseback riding during the judging process to become the queen. Talk about that.
There was a pattern that we had to memorize that we got judged on, and there was a flag run, so we had to go around the arena carrying a flag that we got judged on by the control of our horse and how we carried the flag. And there was also a portion where we had to do the queen wave running around the arena, and we got judged on that as well.
Did you know all of these disciplines in advance so you could practice? And my guess is you did, and you did, right?
Yes, I did practice. And I've had experience carrying flags before, so I wasn't nervous about it at all.
Did you excel in all of those disciplines that you just talked about, or did you have one that, gee, I didn't do so good, I hope they didn't notice?
No, I felt pretty confident in everything I did.
So was there a certain point during that, again, specifically the equestrian part of the judging process, that you knew, hey, I am doing pretty good?
Yeah, I'm a good rider, so I felt confident in what I was doing.
Did your horse have any idea what the heck was going on while you were doing all this stuff, or was it like just another day?
He didn't really. He doesn't care. He was just like, oh, okay, whatever I ask him to do, he does.
Tell me about your horse. What's your horse's name?
His name's Buddy. He's a 16-hand sorrel quarter horse, and he's 19 years old. I got him a couple years ago from a lady in Ellensburg, and she did flags on him, and now I have him, and I've competed on him, and we do cattle sorting. And last year I was a part of a drill team called the Stardust Cowgirls out of Ephrata, and so we were in rodeos and did drill and carried flags, and I did sponsor flags for Moses Lake with him last year. So he's a pretty good, versatile, all-around horse.
Time now to take a look at your North Central Washington weather forecast. Hope you had a fantastic weekend and a great start to this week. Boy, weather over the weekend. It wasn't Saturday, just beautiful. Temperatures in the mid-50s, low 50s yesterday, and we did even better than that. We'll get to that in a second, but this was pretty much our situation for all of us around North Central Washington today. Our Wahidas tower cam looking down at the expansive area around the Hanford area, and you can see a lot of clouds that way with just a little bit of blue sky, and that's pretty much our weather story in the Wenatchee Valley this afternoon, but very warm today. But over the next couple of days, there will be a weak storm system moving through the Pacific Northwest, and that'll bring light precipitation mainly to eastern Washington. But what we are keeping our eye on as winter travel on our area passes. We could see some slick roadways, especially tomorrow night and into Wednesday morning, as this system does drop a little bit of light precipitation, but the temperature just cool enough to freeze on those roadways. So if you're heading over to the west side the next couple of days, be extra careful. Today, we almost set a record high, 61 unofficially today. 62 is our record, and it was just set 5 years ago in 2020. Our normal high, 48 for this time of year, so 13 degrees above normal today. Look at that beautiful overnight low, too. 43 degrees, 12 degrees above where we should be at 31. Our record cold, 10 degrees, and that was set in 2019. Sunrise now is at 6:36, and our sun sets at 5:50. All right, getting you into those Tuesday temperatures, a big difference in temperatures. Most of us are going to drop at least 10 degrees tomorrow. 51 for Moses Lake and Ephrata, and even 50 in Quincy. Back to the west then and to the north, Wenatchee, Eniat, Chelan, and up into Omak, basically in the upper 40s tomorrow, which will be about a 10 to 15 degree cool down. 46 in Leavenworth and 47 the high in Kashmir. But the thing about these temperatures, they're all about normal for this time of year. Today, definitely not a normal one. Tonight, increasing clouds. There's our next weather maker. There's the bottom of the trough of low pressure as it pushes into the Pacific Northwest. There are the clouds associated with that. We'll see increasing clouds tonight. Low temperatures still pretty mild into the mid-30s. For Tuesday then, as that system kind of pushes through, not much for precipitation here. We will just see some clouds and some cooler temperatures. Highs on Tuesday generally in the upper 40s to around 50 degrees. By the time we get you to Wednesday, partly cloudy skies. We will warm up just a little bit on Wednesday as another ridge begins to build in. Our highs right around that 50-degree mark for our midweek Wednesday. And then as we get into the end of our week, into Thursday, lots of sun. There's high pressure in the Pacific. The ridge extends all the way up into British Columbia, and we'll be back to the beautiful weather. Sunny and warmer. We're talking mid-50s for highs on Thursday, and we're going to stay that way on Friday. Beautiful way to end our work week. Maybe a few high clouds out there for Friday. Highs again well above normal into the mid-50s. And then for our weekend, things get a little bit more unstable as another area of low pressure begins to push in. We'll see mostly cloudy skies on Saturday, and there will be some showers in parts of Washington, maybe even up in the Twisp-Winthrop area for Saturday. Low to mid-50s for highs on Saturday. And then by the end of the weekend, that low pushes onto the coast of California. Another low parks itself in British Columbia, and that could bring us about a 20% chance of very scattered rain showers on Sunday. Still mild, though, with high temperatures in the low to mid-50s. 7-day forecast, 34 overnight tonight. Look at that cool down. 48 tomorrow. We'll see 50 with partly cloudy skies on Wednesday, and then back to the warmer weather, especially for Thursday and Friday. All kinds of sunshine by the end of the week in 54. Still mild as we get into the weekend, but a little more unstable. Clouds for Saturday and 53. A chance for showers and mild on Sunday, with a high then also of 53 degrees. And that's a look at your North Central Washington weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Dan Kuntz and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
BC Outdoor Sport Fishing TV, Season 14. Join your host Mike Mitchell and his special guests as they explore some of the most exciting fisheries BC has to offer. BC Outdoors Sport Fishing TV. Check your listings for airtimes.
Hi, everybody. Happy Monday. Dan Kuntz filling in for Eric Grandstrom, who is on assignment, which I believe is the name of his yacht. We'll start with NHL action on Saturday night. Eli Tolvanen led the way. He played pretty good. In fact, the entire Seattle Kraken team played pretty good. We don't like Vancouver, and we beat them. Vince Dunn, a couple of assists as well. He has 200 career assists. And the Kraken beat the Canucks on Saturday night 6-3. Brandon Montour scored to give Seattle a 2-goal lead with 14:22 left in the game. And then Eli did his thing, an empty netter with $1:31 remaining. Joey Decord, 28 saves for Seattle. They will host Minnesota on Tuesday night. Logan Gilbert looked really sharp yesterday, but the rest of the bullpen did not. And they lost 6-1 to the Rockies on the road. On the road in Peoria really doesn't mean much of anything. Mariners slipped 4-7 in Cactus League play. They played the Guardians in Peoria this afternoon at 12:10. We'll have highlights tomorrow. Women's college basketball, Gonzaga and Portland. They will share the West Coast League Conference regular season title. They finished conference play both with a 17-3 record, but the Bulldogs will be the #1 seed because they beat Portland twice during the regular season. The Zags will play in the semifinal 1 week from today. The Washington Huskies all but clinched a spot in the Big Dance by beating Oregon 64-56 yesterday in Seattle. And Haley Van Lith scored 14 points for TCU, who held on to beat Baylor 51-49. 28-3 for TCU this year. That's their best ever record, courtesy of Miss Van Lith. Men's college basketball from over the weekend. St. Mary's and Gonzaga earned the top 2 seeds in the West Coast Conference Basketball Championship, but St. Mary's will enter the championship as the #1 seed for the 3rd straight year because they won the West Coast Conference regular season title outright. Gonzaga will be the #2 seed. They beat San Francisco on the final day of the regular season over the weekend. Indiana popped the Huskies 78-62 in Seattle on Saturday. The Cougars, by the way, will be a #6 seed. They'll play in the 3rd round on Sunday after beating Pepperdine. High school, the East Mountain Lady Wildcats made it to the state tournament for the first time in a long time as the #16 seed. It was a short and sweet stay at Central Valley High School in Spokane on Saturday. They lost to the Meade Panthers. Still a good season for the East Mountain Lady Wildcats. For the other local teams in 1A over the weekend, Cashmere lost to Bellevue Christian 42-39 in the girls tournament, but they can still win it all. I'll have all that in just a minute. Brewster beat Mount Vernon Christian. Liberty crushed Okanogan. For Okanogan, their season is over. And in 1B girls basketball, Nia Bay crushed Pateras, and Waterville Mansfield no problems with PL 59-18. So those are the results. Now, here's what they're going to play. First of all, the round of 12 on Wednesday in the State Girls Championship. It'll get going for the locals. In Yakima, Cashmere will take on Montesano in the 1A tournament. Pateras will take on Lummi Nation in Spokane in the 1B tournament. Already in the quarterfinals, Brewster and Waterville Mansfield. Brewster will take on the winner of Colfax or Napavine. That'll be in Spokane on Thursday. Waterville Mansfield will take on the winner of Lummi Nation or Pateras, also on Thursday, also in Spokane. To the boys we go. Over the weekend, both Chelan and Cashmere, remember when they used to play in the same league? Doesn't matter, they're both on their way to Yakima, the gateway to Wapato. Chelan beat Tenino 70-58, and Cashmere got by La Center 58-47. Smaller schools, Colfax defeated Lake Roosevelt 70-49. Liberty Bell crushing Mount Vernon Christian by 16. Okanogan over LaSalle by just a little bitty, but just by 2. Okanogan 72, LaSalle 70. And in 1B, Elmira, Cooley, Heartline, Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young beat Acosta. Lummi Nation beat Moses Lake Christian. So that's who played. Here's who's going to play the round of 12 on Wednesday. At this point, you have to win them all to win it all. In the 1A, it'll be Kashmir will take on Seton Catholic. That'll be at 3:45 on Wednesday. 9 o'clock tip-off for Chelan as they take on the Bear Creek School. For the 2Bs, Okanogan and Toledo will play at 9 a.m. And Tri-Cities Prep will take on Lake Roosevelt in the 2B tournament in Spokane at 12:15. Well, the Wenatchee Wild lost ground against Seattle over the weekend in their fight for the 8th and final playoff spot in the Western Conference. They were blown out in Spokane 5-1 on Friday, but the Wild rebounded with a great victory, 2-1 overtime victory against Tri-City. On Saturday night at the Town Toyota Center, Reed Anderson scored the game winner in the extra period.
Head the other way with it, 2-on-2, Friesen drops this one off. Coming by is Cooper, wanted to get it to Mannix. Goodell sniffed it out though, and here come the Americans looking to go 3-on-2. Goodell sends that one on, kick save, rebound, they score. Savenverk off that rebound, that right pad, maybe even the skate. It was a true bounce, and Verk was ready on the backside. Rios looking for it at the blue line. Grabbing control back is Friesen. Back for Andreessen and Cooper. Over to Cooper on the right point. Walks it to the circle, down to the goal line. Trying to sweep it in, they score! A little bitty wraparound, and Evan Friesen squeaks one by. And this game is tied, 1-1. Another one for the Wild. Time of the goal, 17:31 of the second. Played back to the near hash marks. Rolls onto the stick of McMillan. McMillan driving this one out. Wild looking for speed coming up the right wing. McMillan brings it back to the right side. Sends it in front. They score! Wild win! Drive! Home safely!
But the Wild closed out the weekend on the road against the Vancouver Giants. They lost 3-1. So the Wild, at this point today, trail Seattle by 3 points. They have 8 games remaining. Seattle has 9 games remaining. Next up for the Wild, a rare Wednesday night game against Prince George at the Town Toyota Center. Can't forget about Wenatchee Bighorns basketball in the game that we broadcast here on Saturday night. A lot of offense. Wenatchee won their season opener. They beat Willamette Valley 116-92. Yesterday, however, at Wenatchee Valley College, the Seattle Superhawks beat Wenatchee 107-103. They will be in Montana to take on Great Falls on Friday. And those are just some of the games that people are playing.
And that will do it for our newscast tonight. For more news from around North Central Washington, you can find us at ncwlife.com, on our social media channels, or on our mobile app for iPhone and Android. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. Email us at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks so much for being with us, and have a great night.
NCW Life's news team is keeping an eye on North Central Washington. Join us each weekday evening at 5, 6, and 10 for the NCW Life Evening News, with interviews, in-depth reporting, and the kind of insights you can't find anywhere else. We're the hometown news station for the Wenatchee Valley, the Cascade Foothills, and up and down the Columbia River. Thanks for watching NCW Life, proud to be part of the Washington State Apple Blossom Festival.